Hey Math 8, how's it going, guys? As you know, I'm out for this week, so what I've done is I've put together some videos going over the lessons, kind of setting things up, making sure you understand what I wanted you to get out of these, and that you're ready to go for next week. I'm gonna put, we're gonna do 1-2-1 today. We're gonna do 1-2-2 tomorrow. We're going to do a chapter 1 closure, and I'll give you a practice test on Friday. And we'll review, talk about things, make sure everything went well on Monday, and probably test next Tuesday for chapter 1. It's a little longer than I'd planned originally, but I think that's better than risking you guys not understanding this material and trying to test this week. Yeah, that's the basic plan for the week. The homeworks are going to still be on Classroom. I decided that it would be easier to do that and be able to monitor progress that way than it would be to try to switch over to paper and try to kind of screw things up, unfortunately. So we're going to keep everything as much the same as possible. I just really have a substitute teacher who's going to be handing out the papers or making sure you guys are doing your work and not goofing off. If you do have time to get onto your cell phones to be doing homework, please be respectful of our sub and of me and not use that opportunity to do whatever. Keep in mind if you need to use the textbook and then go home and do the problems there, that works too. And your substitute should know which problems are actually on the classroom homework. So just ask him if you're confused and want to use a textbook. So 1-2-1 starts talking about these proportional relationships using graphs and tables. Okay. Now, ordinarily, I'd want you to discover what's going on with proportions, and we'd talk about this a lot. Because of this video format, I'm going to be a little more direct in my instruction. So there's two things you need to be a proportion. And there's another thing called a unit rate, which we'll talk about in a second. But a proportion has two deals. Number one, 0, 0 is a point. So if I spend 0 minutes washing dishes, I did not wash any dishes. 0, 0. Okay? If I don't spend money on your fruit, I didn't buy any fruit. That goes through 0, 0. And then it's got to be linear. Okay? So it's got to be that every time I buy the fruit or wash the dish, I'm doing it at the exact same rate. So people don't get tired in these problems. There's no sales tax. There's no shipping charges. So you got to be careful and look and make sure that it's a very simple, linear relationship is what you're looking for. So for instance, if you look here at 141, you'll see actually Parvin's situation here where she's cleaning 17 plates in 10 minutes. If Parvin didn't clean a plate, then it takes 0 minutes, right? So 0, 0 is a point, and Parvin never gets tired. Okay? Parvin can sit there doing plates for 10 hours, and she still cleans at 17 plates for every 10 minutes. That is proportional. Okay? Yasmin's puppy, on the other hand, Yasmin's puppy Maggie weighed 14 ounces at birth. You're going to start from birth, and you're going to go from, for however many days you want. The puppy weighed 14 ounces at birth. The puppy didn't weigh 0 ounces at birth. So when the puppy is 0 days old, it weighs 14. That is not proportional. Okay? It's linear, but it's not proportional. And I'll let you try to figure out for Angel what's going on there. Keep in mind, doubling is not just adding 20 every time. It's 20 to 40 to 80 to 160. So try graphing that out and seeing what happens there. Okay? On 142, you're going to explore Doug's situation. Doug got paid $55 for 6 hours of mowing. Think to yourself again, is it linear? Is this relationship go through 0, 0? If Doug didn't mow anybody's lawn, did Doug get paid anything? Okay? These are the kinds of questions you want to ask yourself as you're going through. You're going to end up completing a table for this in part B. Johnny shows up. Johnny's got this equation here. So we see a little graph for Johnny. He's kicking butt, making money along this. Is Johnny's proportional? Goes through 0, 0. Looks like a straight line. Okay. So how do we compare these? And this is where we get to this concept of unit rate. Your unit rate is, in this case, what you would earn for working an hour. If you were to talk about the previous situations, the unit rate for Parvin's dishwashing is how many dishes Parvin washes in 17 minutes, or in 1 minute. So Parvin does 17 plates in 10 minutes. If you divided 17 by 10, you get 1.7 plates per minute. So Parvin can completely clean a plate and get 7/10 of the way into the next plate in 1 minute. That's her unit rate. Okay? On the test, you are going to be asked to be able to tell if something is a proportion. You are going to be asked to tell if something, or find a unit rate. So you need to have both of those skills. And remember, proportion requires two pieces. You have to go through the origin, 0, 0, and you have to be linear. Let's see, 144, toothpaste problem. Toby wrote the equation T equals 7/10 m to represent the number of tubes of toothpaste he uses in any number of months. So again, if Toby doesn't brush his teeth, at time 0, then it took 0 toothpaste tubes, right? So you got to ask yourself, is that a proportion? Sounds kind of like it, right? And then it goes out for 5 years. Well, how many months are in a year? Biggest trick you'll see on this problem is that some kids are going to plug in 5. They're just going to take that number, they're going to shove it right into months without thinking that 5 is in years. Okay, so don't be that. Avoid making that mistake. You have to convert from years to months. Otherwise, pretty simple problem. We got a ferret food going on here. And then right here we see something called a learning log, 146. 146 is the first learning log. If you look in your binder, the last tab for my math class should say quick writes. The quick writes could also be said as learning logs. I tend to also do other writing exercises, so I don't just call it learning log. But your learning log is going to be the bulk of your quick writes throughout the course of this year. And it asks you for 3 things, 3 very, very important pieces of info that you need to know for the test. How do you recognize that it's proportional? How do you find the unit rate? Okay? So please do that quick write in your groups once you're done with the problems 141 through 144 or 145. So 141 through 145 in groups, 146 in your quick writes. Homework is on Classroom, and I hope you guys have a good day.